Doug Kallitta and Doug Herbert are at the line.
A bit earlier today, a tremendous contribution to Doug Herbert's Brakes Foundation. Be responsible and keep everyone safe. Here is a check that Connie Kallitta is presenting on behalf of the Kallitta Motorsports team for $50,000. You see Doug Kallitta there on the left as well. Generous contribution to Doug, and what a great job he's doing with the young people around Lake Norman, just north of here, after the tragic loss of his sons James and John back in February.
And the good news is they've raised not just that, which is very, very nice, but a good deal of money this week for that program. And kudos to Doug Herbert for getting that going. Herbert was 868 points out of first. Now he's just 90. Doug Kallitta, he ended up in 9th in the countdown. And they both like the tires, so it's not going to work for either one. They were 5th and 6th. Herbert 5th, Kallitta 6th, and that is where they will stay.
And we have a pair of Dougs, Doug Herbert and Doug Kallitta. We were mentioning the Brakes Foundation just a while ago. Well, Tim will swing over here and take a look at the paint scheme on this car, and you see that John and James are depicted here forever in our hearts. Right behind them, the Boy Scout troop, number 313 from this area. James was involved in that. They're here in support of this great team. And Doug Kallitta, I know it's been an emotional weekend. Every weekend is, obviously, in the position you've been placed since the loss of your sons. How much money has been raised this weekend? We saw the check from the Kallitta team. Can you give us a ballpark number as how much has been raised for the Brakes Foundation?
We've raised well into 6 digits this weekend, and we're just going to do some great things with our driving school, with the Brakes Driving School, and our DVDs that we're sending around to the driver's education, and just trying to get the message out there. And there's 6,000 teenagers that are killed every year in car accidents, and we're going to do something about that. And thanks to Connie and Doug Kallitta and all the guys over there at Kallitta's. Scott was friends with both of my boys, and he knew them both for a long time, and that means a lot to me that Doug and Connie and Oberhoffers and just all the guys over at Kallitta's that are been my friends for a long time. There's not a lot of guys out here that you root for when you can't win a race, but Doug's a guy that I always root for.
And that's tremendous support. And obviously, Doug, you and your family experienced the tragedy and the loss of Scott, but to be able to put a check into Doug Herbert's hands like that had to bring tremendous satisfaction to you and Connie and the entire team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, real proud to do it. Hopefully, you know, we'll just keep doing what we're doing with the sales of the merchandise, and hopefully we can provide more. I'm sure it's, you know, Scott will be real proud of what we're doing here, and I'm sure he's there taking care of those boys. So they're in good hands, and we'll just hope for the best with what Doug's doing, and you know, it's a great effort.
Well done for these guys, and remember, they're both in the countdown to the championship.